the
Ghost in the Shell water fight.
Yeah, which we've seen in the anime. And like from the start, it looks pretty good because we've got a very dirty background. And I think that's kind of the side I've taken this whole time as me and Jamal have been talking about whether or not this movie is going to be good. And I think the artistic design behind all of it is just stunning. I mean, the backgrounds and the detail that they put into things and practical effects. But I have not seen this whole scene yet, so...
What did you think?
The action is total garbage in this movie.
So bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
I mean, the action is garbage. There's no tension.
No.
There's not, like, this is the most conflictless fight scene I've ever seen. Like, we just know she's gonna...
He puts up zero fight, like, not even a little bit. The music's not worried, like, nothing is tense about this at all. It's pretty awful, in my opinion.
They definitely sacrifice all the tension and, like, action for beauty in this for some reason. Because it's, like, instead of, like, mounting tension or getting close-ups or getting some reason we should be worried about either character, we just immediately go into that slow-mo, like, dude spins in water, and, like, who gives a shit? Like, it gets
pretty
to that
awful.
point.
And this walk, that's supposed to be ominous, but definitely is not after she reveals herself from her, I'm going to call it the predator mode.
Predator mode, yeah, that's perfect.
She looks so stupid. I think it's the height of the camera. Look, if someone's walking towards you and is about to whoop your ass, why would you frame them in the middle of the screen like that?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems almost lazy. It's dead center of the frame.
It's dead center. She's obviously short. Like, she looks little. Like, she doesn't look ominous at all. I mean,
why would you ever have that shot?
They could have done a lower angle. And even the ending shot is also like...
Like, this stance of hers at the end is like epic victory after a long fight.
Yeah.
But
There was no long
nothing about that fight was long or, like, painful to me. And, like, I mean, if you wanna give them some credit and, like, maybe hopefully estimate that the chase before this was very taxing on them, then I guess you could argue that. But, like, to just release this, it looks like
and
I'm
in
not
the end,
worried about shit.
I actually don't think this guy is hurt that bad.
Yeah, after this,
if you look at the choreography of this fight,
he gets thrown into water.
Yeah,
which
he's in water. Okay, so he's not hitting the ground hard or skinning some skin off of him or anything.
Yeah, like if I had a top 3 things I'd like to be punched into, water definitely would be on that list.
Yeah,
like it'd be like getting punched on a beanbag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, which goes to the point. I think they're sacrificing like the things they could do with tension for the sake of beauty, which is why we get more slow-mo shots than tension shots or anything like that. I think what you got to assume is they use the storyboard to lead the action instead of the choreographer. Because when we see like Atomic Blonde or like John Wick, like that's led by the choreographers. The action is led by the choreographers because the choreographers are the directors. But I think this is clearly like a case where like they sacrifice it all for beauty because they storyboard it out first. They're like, we want these shots, and they forget like, oh, well, the thing about a fight scene is it has to make sense.
Yeah, it has
and
to make sense.
Like people have to give a shit, you know? Like, so, and I feel like they lost that. So we're gonna go into
we're gonna watch the original.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
And this is the original fight scene.
Aw, out of ammo?
Huh?
And yeah, and look at this. We sit there, like the shot stays there, and that builds tension.
This is what you call tension. Just silence. You don't know where she is.
Yeah, and so
he's
like
scared at this point, so you're like, oh man, this is scary.
Yeah, this is scary, and she becomes the monster. We're like coming from his perspective on this, because we cannot see her.
Yep. And he is clearly trying to defend himself.
Yeah, for his life. Yeah. He has 2 broken limbs. Yeah, that's tension.
So much
Yeah.
cooler.
So much better.
So much cooler than what we got in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, you even look at the ending shot in this versus the other one. I mean, we could be totally wrong here. There could be more to see, but my gut feeling is since they released a 5-minute clip, have you seen that one?
Oh, we're going to go into it. Yeah.
They released a 5-minute clip of the movie, and it's a big shootout scene, and
But at the same time, they could have cut that down too, because it was so jumbled. We were so confused.
But this means if this is correct, and they are both cut down scenes, that means they cut out all the good shots and put in all the bad shots.
I think they're just like, if they cut it down to be like just the solid 5 or 6 minutes or whatever they released, I think they cut out some key narrative shots that like some producer or trailer park editor like saw and was like, oh, well, we just want to keep the pretty ones like you see in a music video or a trailer, and like didn't realize that the narrative ones are the ones that ratcheted tension or suspense
That could be true.
needed to be kept in.
That could be true, but
So
that would
I'm still like, I'm saying we could give them the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, they cut this down for promo time. But if that's what we see in theaters, then fuck that noise. This is this is gonna be terrible.
But yeah, but to me, in my thinking, you could totally be right. But my thinking is if they cut both of these scenes and they cut out all the stuff that would make it make sense and make it actually a good clip, then I think that chance is to me slimmer than it just being this is actual clip from directly from the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, I
Because they're
think
both equally like terrible, in my opinion.
well, I
But
mean,
let's,
we just have to wait to see.